P-L.
There it is.
Okay. Hello. Welcome back. Hello, if this is your first time to Star Carter's Comedy and Counseling Podcast. You came to a great podcast. This is episode 9, 10, 11. I don't know. But I am so excited. I believe this is my 10th episode. I saved this episode for a special reason. So please stay. I saved this episode. If you are watching this, then you're getting a treat because she is absolutely gorgeous and her facial expressions are hilarious. She's dancing right now. If you are listening, please write down this name because you're going to see it in lights all over the world soon. I have my very comedy sister in Christ. Wait, that means, I don't know, we're going to be cussing. My comedy sister, Holly
Logan. Hey, everybody. Hey. Okay, about the cursing. Let me tell you. So God, I think he understands because he created us.
Yes.
He knew.
Yeah.
And for the Holy Rose, I'm not being blasphemous. But he know me, but he know my heart. And he know when I cuss, it's just me being expressive.
That's right. I love it. So this is my very first time having a real stand-up comedian on Comedy and Counseling Podcast. And it's you, Holly.
Who coming?
It's you. She's so crazy. I love it. So this is super exciting for me because I've had counselors, I've had therapists, but I've never had, besides myself, an actual real life stand-up comedian. So please buckle your seatbelts. We're gonna have a good time tonight.
A good time.
And
for the record, I would just like to say that I put on a blue shirt tonight because the last time I did my podcast and Star was a guest, I got the riot rack about not having an Albany State shirt. I still don't have one because neither Star nor Scarlett sent me one, but I did put on blue today. And everybody says I'm yellow, so I guess I'm blue and gold.
Blue and gold. That's what it is. Yes, I know her from Albany State University. That's where we met. And she was an actual theater major. So she knew from the beginning, like, you've always known that you're supposed to be like, what is that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have. My mom and dad said, it's a picture of me and I'm making a funny face. And I asked my mom one time, I said, what was I saying? She said, we were taking pictures of you and you looked at everybody and said, what do y'all think I am, a superstar? And
yeah,
you know, like I said, I've told this story many times, but I did my first comedy set at 5 years old. Like my friends sit on top of the hill and I would stand at the bottom and just tell jokes all day.
Wow.
What I was talking about, who knows? But so I've always wanted to, I've always
So I did my first audition at Albany State. Holly doesn't remember this, I'm sure.
I do so remember. I'm trying to remember which play it was for though. It wasn't
which play it was.
UB. It wasn't the first one we did, but I can't remember. I remember you did audition.
And because people already knew I was naturally funny, because in conversations or whatever, they're like, oh my God, you need to try out. You need to try. You would be perfect. You'd be perfect. And I'm like, really? Okay. And this is how I read my part. The man went into the store and he saw a cat. And they were looking like this, like, what in the hell is happening? I was horrible. I was absolutely horrible.
You know why? Because you were trying to act instead of just being you. If you would have went in there being you and read that script as you would have got it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yeah. So from then on, I found a newfound love and respect for those theater kids that we all thought was weird. Now, they did think y'all was weird. But still, I had a newfound respect. I was like, that is hard. That is really hard.
Yeah, it is.
So Holly is so rich, and so she has so much y'all to offer. So we might be all over the place.
I'm definitely not. She's not talking about rich and money. Please, nobody. I'm so sick of y'all asking for Cash App. I'm broke. Cash App me. Okay, go ahead.
And substance.
Thank you for clarifying that. Because if I get one more girl, I'm a little bit behind. Message, I'm gonna scream and show my bank account balance.
That part. She's so rich. So we're gonna have a good time just talking about the ebbs and flows of comedy life, real stand-up comedy life, also trials and tribulations, and how you navigate going through some traumatic experience, but still having this gift that God has given you to make people laugh. Oh. I have done shows, Holly, when this is a true story. I had a miscarriage 2 days before and had to perform.
Oh yeah, you
because I didn't sign a contract. They didn't gave me not only gave me the money, I didn't spend their money, so I couldn't give it back. So even though the contract said I give 50% back, I ain't got 50%. I didn't spend it. So I had to perform.
So well, they say the saddest person in the room is the clown.
Wow. Okay, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, the saddest person in the room is often the clown.
So let's start me from the beginning. Okay. What said I'm gonna do stand-up? Like, where did that come from? Because I thought it was always acting.
It was. Okay. So when I lived in LA the first time, 2004, 2005, I met this writer. I don't know if you remember the show Half and Half.
Yeah.
So Chauncey B. Ragland Washington, if you're watching this, I'm talking about you, but he was a writer on the show. And one day he was like, I don't really think you know how funny you are. He's like, the stuff that just comes out of your mouth. So he paid for me to take a class. And he was like,
wow, that's a seed. So, okay.
Yeah, he was like, I paid for you to take a class, go, sign up. So I took the class. Okay, yay, I'm gonna be a comedian. I went to the Laugh Factory, one of the biggest clubs. Right. Put my name on the list to do the mic.
Right.
Had never done it before. I knew the man who worked the door. We called him Brother Woods. I got so scared. I just broke out of sweat. I went home. He called me. He said, they're calling you. Where are you? I said, I'm in the bed. I went home. So I got nervous. I hadn't wrote nothing down, but I knew I like to make people laugh. Even from being a little girl, I just like to make people laugh. In high school, I stayed in school suspension because I was always doing something, but I wasn't really bad. I was just wanting to entertain people. So I still want to act. I mean, I think if you ask most comedians what their is, they hope to get a sitcom. I mean, that's just real. But I'm never going to not be on a stage. I always want to be a comedian, but the money is going to come from a show.
Okay. Gotcha.
But what pushed me to actually go for it, I had my second brain surgery in 2016. And I was recovering, and God said to me, okay, what else do I have to do to get you to get it? I have spared you twice. And I signed up for another comedy, like a real stand-up comedy class. And I never looked back. And I did my first show April 23rd, 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, it was like I didn't have a drink. All I drank is water. I didn't have any alcohol, nothing. It's the best high you can imagine.
Yes, it is a high. It is a high. And it takes me days. It takes me days, sometimes days, but most of the time hours to come down.
Do you get hungry after a show?
Starving. I can't eat before. I can't eat.
I can't eat before either. I can eat like a little bit, but like I starving after a show. Like I got the munchies or something.
Yeah. But so a lot of you may know, because I've kenned on this in the few shows before, but when I started in stand-up, it was just me performing at a friend's house for a bridal shower. And the way she did it was, or birthday party, I'm sorry. And the way she did it was tell me about the story that time will this happen. And then tell me about another story. So she literally like walked me through my set and she recorded it and she sent it to me and was like, look, what you did. And I was like, wow, okay. So my birthday was coming up and I was turning 30 and I said, well, I'm going to use that because that'll give me a few months to say, this is my birthday theme. I'm going to come out as a comedian. And it just took off from there. People start hiring me. People start booking me. And I do get a high from it, Holly, but over the years for me, it's come down and now hosting is my high.
But that's a good thing. Hosting is great. Hosting is great because hosting is so much. You can have a talk show, you can have,
Yes.
game shows. It's
Yes.
so much. And when
Yes.
you host a comedy show, really, you really doing more comedy because you get to throw in a
You
little thing
are.
in between,
Yeah.
each. But hosting is a great thing. Everybody can't host.
No, right. Right. Because you really literally you carry the show.
And you got to keep the room up. And
You
if a
gotta
comic
keep the
comes
room
up
up.
and a comic bombs, it's up to you to come back and bring
Yeah.
it back up. So
Yeah.
hosting is, yeah.
I love hosting. I absolutely love hosting. If you ever want to hire me for hosting, that's gonna be my yes. Comedy set, I'm gonna be like, I may be busy. But so I see that you've been on the road with singers, and do you open up for them? How does that work?
Yeah, so I opened up for After Seven in July,
Mhm.
and that was so fun. Except when the
Yeah.
millennials say, "Who's After Seven?" And I say,
Damn
"Babyface's brother,"
millennials.
and they're like, "Babyface."
Right, right,
Um,
right, right.
so yeah, that came about because I was at a friend's house in Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
when I met you and Scarlett for lunch when I was there.
Yeah.
That's when I got hooked up with that gig because
Oh wow.
somebody saw me, and my friend said, she's a comedian. They were like, well, send me a tape, and I got to do that. So that was amazing.
Mhm.
So yeah, I got to open up for them. I was so nervous because I was like, these people are here to hear people sing. They don't care about no comedy. And
Yeah.
but it was a great time. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, keep my fingers crossed for possibly more gigs with
Oh,
them.
that's definitely coming. That's
Yeah,
definitely coming.
yeah,
So
yeah.
is LA really the reason why you moved to LA is only because of comedy and wanting to
No,
pursue that life?
acting, acting.
Acting. Okay.
Yeah, acting.
Okay.
Honestly, LA for comedy, I wouldn't advise people to come here for stand-up comedy.
Okay. Okay.
Launch your stand-up comedy career. LA is more of a showcase town. So
Okay.
you get up, you showcase your material, you hoping somebody sees you or whatever.
Okay.
When I came to the East Coast and did DC and New York,
Mm-hmm.
that is where I felt like my comedy just took off again because it's a different feel. And I
Yeah.
cannot wait to do Atlanta because I heard Atlanta's the same way. I heard it's New York or the South.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a different feel, a different respect for comedy over there.
Gotcha.
Like you grinding. Dean Edwards, I don't know if you know him. He was on Tiffany Haddish's last special. He did all
Yes.
the impressions.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying LA is where you showcase Holly, but New York is where you need to be to get better.
Okay. And you did New York.
Yeah, I did New York. I did Caroline's.
I
And
know. Tell us about it. Tell us about
well,
it.
it was the night of the hurricane.
Oh,
Yeah, so I
okay.
almost washed away. No, it
My
was I had a good time. I had a great experience, and some of the vets that were there, like, kind of like gave me pointers after, which I appreciated,
yeah.
and
Oh wow.
it was it was a good night. And then I was
Mhm.
supposed to go do a second show that night in Brooklyn. Got there, got out of the Uber, water was up to my ankles. I
Oh
got in the
wow.
place, and by the time I get in, it was like, sorry, we're about to shut down. The roads are flooded. I could barely get back to my hotel in Manhattan.
Mm.
Yeah, but now I'm bi-coastal. I have a place to stay out there, so I'll
Oh
be,
good.
yeah. But I won't be going back into January because my commercial agent.
Let's not just go over I'm bi-coastal.
Oh, I know,
Let's not.
bi-coastal, not bisexual, bi-coastal. For those of you who don't understand, go ahead.
Yeah. So how often would you be coming back and forth?
Every 6 weeks, every 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah,
Cool.
but I was supposed to go back in October, but my agent was like, it is holiday commercial season. I suggest you sit down. So,
Tell what's holiday commercial season for those of us that
but
don't
like
know.
the holiday commercials that you see, like Best Buy and different things, like I've had
Mhm.
3 Best Buy auditions in the past week and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, so haven't booked anything yet, but hey.
Yeah.
I got callbacks, which are good, which means callbacks are like when you do the commercial and they like you and they want to see you again. And then I've been
Yeah.
Avail twice, and with Avail, everybody says Avails are great. Like my agent gets excited, but Avails don't pay your bill.
Mm.
Avails are when it's down to you and maybe one or two other people, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just up to the client to say, sorry, it's a helicopter, ghetto bird flying over, if you can hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's up to two, a couple other people, so that's great. So I went in for Best Buy again
Okay.
Wednesday, so fingers crossed.
Yes,
Yeah,
Lord. Yes, Lord,
yeah.
do it.
So I'm gonna
Do
be
it.
sitting still to after January.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what's your inspiration when you write a bit? Is it what's going on in the world? Is it
It's mainly my life.
storytelling? Okay.
Storytelling is a big part of it for me, and I talk about my life and what's going on in the world for sure. But
Mm-hmm.
it's still how it pertains to my life, like the protests. I
Mm-hmm.
talk about me protesting, but it's still about what my point of view of what happened to me during the protests. I try to stay away from politics only because if a Trumper yells out in the audience, I'm probably going to throw my microphone stand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I talk about my life. People keep telling me I need to talk about the brain surgeries. I haven't found them that funny yet.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm trying to, but like right now, I just had an MRI last Friday because
Okay.
I'm having some issues again with my head.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so right now, it's just not, I can't make it funny and I want to, but I can't,
Again, yeah,
because comedy comes from life, but
it does. I went through Josh Harris, if you're watching. Hey, Josh Harris. I
hey,
went
Josh.
through Josh Harris comedy school,
Okay. Yay.
and it was 4 weeks of just awesomeness. And I was in a class with this guy named Brian Eggleston. What is his name? I'm gonna get that right because I just say Brian. I don't remember his last name, but I looked on Facebook. Oh my God, just today, and I saw that because he was already writing somebody Eggleston.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Eggleston. Y'all remember that name? I'm saying it for a reason, but he was in my comedy class and he was already a writer, already had been doing plays and established to a certain extent, but he wanted to learn more about how to write comedy skits. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's something that people that already established wanted to learn how to do. And I saw today where he did a beautiful post about him going from a movie set to a TV show. So he's like flourishing right now.
Yeah.
So apparently the game is back and he's the head writer for that show.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. A lot of comedians too. If you don't get a show, then a lot of them will write for Conan and
Yeah.
even some of the big name comics have writers
I
for them.
saw Cedric the Entertainer when they did the scroll for the Emmy writers,
Mm-hmm.
and they had Rita. I don't remember her name, but she's very popular on social media. Rita, it'll come to me, but she's one of the writers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh wow. So yeah, he had, if you look at some comedy specials, look when it does that scroll about writers, it'll list
Yeah,
a lot of different people. It's
like
just,
Rodney Perry. Rodney
uh,
Perry used to write for some of the biggest names
yeah.
out there.
I got to
Um,
perform in front of him once for like 3 minutes, and it was like, oh my God, he loves me.
well, you know what else he like? I did a show with him too. He likes boobs.
That's probably why he like.
He's a boob man. Yeah,
Uh,
he's happily married. He doesn't come
he's
on to you.
happily
Let me
married.
let
Yeah,
me
yeah,
get
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Let
yeah.
me get that right. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, he likes. But yeah, no, he's like one of the most supportive to I don't young comics, and by young I don't mean age, but young
Mm-hmm.
in the game. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad you did it. Like you are hilarious. Like
Thank you.
hilarious. Yes.
Thank you. What's the bit about what you were saying about the riots? You said riots or
Yeah. Well, I talk about how because I did my first
protesting?
protest. I did my yes because we don't riot.
No.
I did my first protest last year with the George Floyd situation,
Mm-hmm.
and I was out there and I was like, okay, yeah. All of a sudden, everybody started running. I was like, why am I running? The rubber
Yeah.
bullets, they were shooting rubber bullets.
Oh.
I didn't know I had the ability to
Mhm.
run that fast. My friend said she looked back and all she saw was my titties just going. And I said, okay, you know what, y'all? I'm not gonna join y'all no more, but I'm gonna send some emails.
This is
And then
my last.
right, I'm gonna send emails and stuff, and I'm gonna make some phone calls.
Yeah.
And then that's when I realized I was a black Karen.
You realize you was a black Karen.
Yeah, because I liked it. Can I speak to your manager?
Yeah.
I didn't like the way you said hello. Yeah.
Right. That's you. That's
Yeah.
you. I did a what was we walking for? We were walking for the church, actually. We were walking for with I was a part of Bishop Long. Stop it right now. I
I
was
I, I
we
was
I
just
don't know.
I said I wasn't gonna say that. You saw me go.
I want you to keep that same face. Y'all, she balling up her face. I don't care. New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, we did a walk, and apparently he had spoken out, or not spoken out, but he had a sermon that was kind of hitting on homosexuality or whatever. And they felt some type of way. So they were out there and they were like saying things. And I was like walking in the middle and I was like, this is what it feels like to have been with Martin Luther King. And I had my head held high, like I am making a difference. And child, somebody hauled off, and it wasn't even a real gun. It was just a pow sound. I think like somebody chair fell.
Yeah, right.
I left that protest and them church people so fast. So what I'm not gonna do is get killed for nobody.
Martin by Martin. Yeah.
Mark wouldn't have liked me. He would have been like, you is the Heisman Negroes. I'm gonna be in here with Master.
Yeah, I can't.
I was weak. I didn't realize I was that weak.
Yeah, I was too. Because when the bullets came, but more than that, I thought about, golly, if my fat ass fall, they're gonna trample over me, and I'm gonna die. Like it was just, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it for because of the reason, but never again.
You realize who you are in your blackness, and you have a newfound respect for our people in the struggle.
Yeah, it's this girl down the street. I swear, every day since George Floyd got killed, she's been on the corner down there. Now she just all by herself every day, holding up a sign with a book. Huh?
What she want? The man that got convicted. What is she fighting for?
I don't know. And
at this point, George Floyd people in the house saying, "Girl, we didn't."
Right, everybody sit in the house, right? But yeah, so I mean, good for you if you can do it. Do it. I'm proud of you. I salute you. I bring you a water bottle, but I can't do it no more.
I want to be stronger. Tell me, speaking of strong, tell us about your brain surgery.
So I found out when I was 37. It was 2000. I think I was 37. 2012 in Atlanta that I had a condition called Chiari malformation, which I had never heard of.
Chiara, say it slow for me.
CHIARI malformation, Chiari. Ever since I was little, whenever I would get a cold and cough, I would get a headache. If I laughed too hard, I would get a headache. Mm-hmm. My mom said when I was little, I used to say, I got a headache, mommy. And she just thought I was saying it. But I remember telling my mom, why when I laugh, do I get a headache? Am I not supposed to be happy? Kind of thing. And think like when I get a cold, if I cough, my tongue will get thick and it was like I couldn't talk. And my mom would rush me to the hospital and they'd be like, oh, she just wants attention. Oh, she's depressed. Oh, she's got anxiety. Oh, she's got asthma, just anything. 2012, I had a cold that I just couldn't shake the cough. And I would get these bad headaches. I went and got all kind of tests, AIDS tests, everything. I was like, something's wrong. One day I was at work and I coughed and just slumped over. And I was working at a reproductive center. So they had their own little OR. They rushed me back there. My blood pressure was 200 and something over 185 or something like that. I was down the street from Northside Hospital. They rushed me to the hospital. They were like, she's had a stroke. They gave me the whole stroke protocol because by the time they got me to the hospital, I couldn't feel nothing on my left side and I couldn't talk.
My Lord.
So they had me in the ICU for 4 days. They were like, she's had a stroke, but we can't see it on a CAT scan. We don't know what's wrong. And so finally the neurologist said, give her an MRI because we know she's had the stroke and we need to figure out where. And he came back and said, you didn't have a stroke. You have Chiari malformation. The only way to diagnose it is with an MRI. So if one person when I was young would have done an MRI, but a lot of people don't know. I mean, you'd be surprised how many people in the medical field haven't heard of it. So basically what it is my brain is too big for my head. And I'm not being funny, but that's really what was that. So the bottom of my brain, it was stuck in the top of my spinal cord. So if I coughed, it would cause the hole hitting my esophagus or whatever, making me cough. So I got diagnosed. So I was going to have the surgery, but I didn't have health insurance. Okay. I got health insurance 2013. Yay, I can have the surgery. My mom gets diagnosed with cancer.
Same year.
So I'm like, okay, I can't have the surgery. I got to focus on me. But then I started having what's called drop attacks where I would just fall. I could literally just be standing and just drop. And it would be days that my speech would go and come back, speech would go. And so the doctor was like, you need to have surgery. And I was like, well, my mom is in treatment. He was like, you're going to be in a wheelchair. So my mom had a 2-week span between her chemo and when her radiation started. She came to Atlanta, and that's when we scheduled the surgery for that time so her and my dad could be there. So that was in 13. Yeah. Then 2016, so during the surgery, I don't have a bone in the back of my head. They took out the bone and they put this man-made like muscle to hold your brain up. I was fine. Everything was fine from then. 2016, I got hit from behind in a car, knocked my brain back down. And so I had to have the surgery again. And what they say is they used to take out more bone because they thought that's what they were supposed to do. But now they realize that's not the thing. So the doctor had to push my brain back up, put a metal plate in my head, and I was better. So Free Jade, I took Free Jade to Universal in July.
We'll talk about what Free Jade is.
I was riding all kind of rides. And one ride, my head was just like a bobblehead doll, and I hadn't been feeling good since then. And so I was like, something's not right. I know my body. And I went, and so I had the MRI. So I went to have a visit with him this week. He said, my brain is perfect. It's in a place. He said, but if I having the symptoms, like if they get worse or I keep having them by November, he may have to go in and do exploratory surgery because sometimes you get scar tissue and adhesions that cause the same symptoms.
Okay.
So I'm praying that it goes
away.
But I've been having like bad headaches, really weak. Like some days I don't get out of the bed because I'm in just so much pain and so tired. Yeah. So some days I just lay in the bed all day. But you still push through.
You still push through.
Yeah. So, but I like to wear high heels for shows, and wearing high heels makes it really bad. Makes my head hurt really bad.
Okay.
So yeah. So, but we push through. It's like you said, like 2 days after you had a miscarriage, you had to go on stage. The same
on
thing.
Stage.
Gotta do what I chose this, so I gotta.
Do you have to take constant medication, like anything to maintain, or
Tylenol doesn't really work. He taught me this trick. Dr. King taught me this trick. I take the sponge and push it back at the base of my skull, and then I tie ace bandage real tight, and it kind of like pushes the brain, and it'll make the headaches ease up a little bit. Yeah. So
wow.
I'm praying it works itself out because I told him, I said, Dr. King, I cannot do this again. He was like, I don't want you to have to. I'm hoping it.
Because the recovery is rough, long.
Yeah, it's not, like the surgery itself. You're home in a couple of days, but it's just it's a recovery. They got to shave your hair off, and it's just a whole lot. And right now with COVID, don't nobody want to be in the hospital. So
come on now, yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, but I mean, even that is a blessing though, because it slowed me down, and I wouldn't have been able to listen to God like I did to push. I was miserable at my job, like miserable.
Yeah.
And I stayed in the hospital with that from stress and different things like that. And so, yeah, so glad to be away from corporate America.
And never going back.
Never going. I will sell ass on a dirty corner.
That
before I go back to corporate America. You hear me?
On a dirty corner.
On a dirty corner before I go back.
So Holly has a amazing live show that she does called Ha Ha Holly. I absolutely say that again.
I gotta bring it back.
You gotta bring it back. But you did a whole first season.
I did the whole 16 episodes. Yes.
16 episodes, and she would go live every Wednesday. And she would have her comedy friends. And it was so funny, and it's so funny. And I just enjoyed it so much when I could catch it. And she has this producer that's her goddaughter named Jade. And one day Jade was late. And the whole show, it was, well, Jade, now that you're here, well, Jade, can you do this? I mean, now that you're here. And I was like, Jade in jail, and she need to be free. So when Holly asked me to be on with her roommate from college, Scarlett, we were on the show. I had a sign that said "Free Jade,"
and Jade does not let me live that down.
She still brings it up.
Yes, it's Free Jade. Yes,
Free Jade. I love it. I love it. But Ha Ha Holly, tell us about what made you do it. Was it the pandemic? or was
It
it?
was. It was the pandemic. Like you, I like to host, and I
Yeah,
really would love to have my own talk show. Like I
me
really
too.
would. I'd love to have my
Yeah,
own late night show.
I can see that for you.
So during the pandemic, my friend, he was like, "You need to do a podcast." I'm like, "Nah." And he was
Mhm.
like, "No, it'll be good." So then I was like, it was a lot of work. Like it's like that's why I told you kudos to you because you made it happen fast. It took me daggone like months because I got the equipment and the equipment
Mhm.
is very intimidating. You know, because you
Mhm.
got it. It's
Yeah,
very
I got it.
intimidating.
Gotta
But once
use
you
it.
get it, you use it. Once you use it, you'll love it.
Well, the mic that Holly, and I was gonna say this to the end, because I'm trying not to be emotional, but uh Holly just gave me all the information, y'all. I just owe her so much. She was
No,
just
you
like,
don't. That's what you're supposed to do.
I know, but everybody doesn't, Holly. So just give me 2 minutes to
Okay.
just give you your props. So I'm watching the show Wednesday night, and Holly's like, and it's not like we talk all the time at all. It's been years.
Hmm.
And I was just like, oh, Holly, I enjoyed this so much. I was thinking about putting the podcast. Holly said, yes, you should do it. And this is everything you need. My mic is what Holly told me to get. My sound system right here. Holly told me, Holly gave me a laundry list of everything to do, programs, everything. She just gave it to me, y'all. Now, this girl has her own show, and she just gave it to me. And I just was like, this is God. Because I asked, and I don't care if she watching, because this is God. I asked a cousin of mine that has been doing a very successful show. 3 times I asked her to help me. Crickets. Oh, yeah. We're gonna talk. Yeah. I'm at the store. Call me right back. Never heard from her.
So I don't know your cousin, so I'm not saying this out of anything but what I
But
feel.
I'm
And it's
just
because she knew you were gonna be very successful at it, and
hmm.
maybe even more so. I don't believe in that. That's the crabs in the barrel mentality.
Come on. Yeah.
We other races do it, but we're notorious for it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
it's ridiculous.
It's
Um,
ridiculous.
our shows are totally different. I'm not a therapist.
Right.
You're doing therapy and comedy, which is
Right.
great. Comedy is therapy. So that
Yeah.
mixes well. That's good. Mine is totally different. Mine is called Hidden Gems. So I bring on comics and the
Mm-hmm.
people may not necessarily know, or even if you do know, or
Mm-hmm.
friends like you, I say you need to be doing comedy. Like, you and Scarlett are
Mm-hmm.
two of the most funniest people I know.
Mm-hmm.
Our shows are different, but even if I had a show about therapy and comedy, I don't care. Do
Mm-hmm.
it. I mean, do it. We should. This is how many million, billions, trillions of people in this world.
Right. Right.
Like, yeah, I just don't under people like that. I feel sorry for them. I pity them because you can't make it but so far.
Right.
Why? And they ain't family. Like I
Family.
don't understand that.
Yeah.
I've experienced it. With friends or different people or
Okay.
friends.
Mm-hmm.
Too with comedy.
Mm.
I've asked people, hey, that I know have had shows, can you put me on your show? Oh, okay. Well, you know what? My schedule is booked up, but then I go and I got people, new people that I know that they didn't have on there.
Yeah. Right.
Same, same way, but
Right.
that's okay. Still
Yeah.
love her and still support her and
Mm-hmm.
everything else because
Mm-hmm.
all she did was motivate you to be even better than you were going to be anyway.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's been awesome. So I intentionally saved my 10th episode for Holly to be on because it's so it's so I feel like, oh my God, I've done 10 shows. So I have to have Holly on. So
Oh, I
yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I wanted to thank you for that and give you kudos for that. So make sure y'all follow whenever she starts back up or go back and look at old episodes. You will
I was
get a
supposed to start
treat.
this month, but because I haven't been feeling good, I told Jay, let's hold it off.
Hmm.
Just let me get better. And
Okay. But
and so
people can watch the old episodes,
oh
right?
yeah, on YouTube. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
YouTube's done something lately where you gotta be over 18 to do it and you gotta make sure your account shows stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, they can still watch them on YouTube. I am definitely coming back.
Okay.
It will be I may change the day, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Um just for me because I am auditioning more and things, I
Mm-hmm.
think the weekdays are a little bit harder for me
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. But I'm definitely coming back because again, I feel like that was a gift from God too, and
Yes.
I enjoy it. I
Yeah.
truly do, and it opens a lot of doors.
Mm-hmm. It does. It does. And
So,
I enjoyed your comics on there. They were great.
hmm.
Um, So it's like a community. It's like a silent community. And so when AJ Johnson is it that passed away recently, I didn't know I don't know him at all. I don't know if you've had a chance to kind of perform with him or know
I
of
met
him.
him before I even came to Albany State. He was doing a play with
Oh
Mr.
wow.
Miles the same time I met Mr. Miles. He was
Okay.
doing a play and Mr. Miles was in the audience, and I was trying to joan on him then. He was like, I don't think this is what you want. But but he was funny. But it's somebody posted the other day, the comedy world is like a fraternity.
It
And when
is.
one of us take a hit, we all feel it. And we lost AJ Johnson, but I don't know if you saw where we lost a few other comics to cocaine overdose.
Yeah.
Um, that hit us hard too.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to the saddest person in the room. A lot of times people don't know a lot of comics, including myself,
Mm-hmm.
suffer from
Me too.
depression.
Me too. Yeah.
And our
Absolutely.
comedy, the best comedy comes from pain.
It does.
And healing for us is to make somebody else laugh because we may not necessarily be able to laugh ourselves all the
Mm.
time. And so when people
Mm.
say, I don't get it, why you do cocaine? And he was doing this, his career was on the way. Michael K. Williams. I mean, look at him. Lovecraft Country, all of that. It
Oh,
doesn't mean anything. Just because you
yeah.
got all the success and fame, actually you're even lonelier because you don't know who
Yeah.
to trust.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. So but the comedy community is a fraternity. It was so sad about AJ because I think they were gonna finally bring his character back for the new Friday that they're about to work on.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. That would have been
I think it's
awesome.
gonna be called Last Friday or
Okay.
something like that. But I don't know what I don't think it was drugs, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, but you feel it. You feel
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm. You do feel it. You do feel it. Um, let's talk real quickly about some like big hitters that you've worked with or met. I've met the queen of, well, she wasn't on Queen of the Comedy. She should have been. Simone. Um, that's not her name.
Some more.
Thank you. Some more. I
Mm-hmm.
met some more through a mutual friend, went out one night and it was like a group of girls and she comes in and she was like, oh, I forgot to tell you some more is gonna be here. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, do you know who this is? And so we got a chance to talk. And I asked her, like, because she had a big show coming up that they were advertising. I was like, I get so nervous. I mean, it's to the point where my stomach bothers me and I just want to get it over with. Is that normal? I'm thinking it's not normal. She said, I'm nervous now and my show is in a month. I was like,
Absolutely.
really? She was like, yeah. She said, if you don't get nervous, something's wrong. Cedric the Entertainer got a chance to sit down and meet with him, and he is top 5 for me, my favorite of all times.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, same
Mm-hmm.
thing. So some of the big people, or not, when I say big, I mean, that's notably successful. Have you got
Yeah.
any gems from anybody
You know what's funny? The bigger names that I met was before I started doing comedy. I used to
before?
be a comedy junkie. Like the club I
Okay.
told you I used to go to, I used to go almost every night. Like I knew everybody. Like I was cool with Chris Rock's brother, Tony Rock. Um,
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, he was still with Teray back then. Like all of them, everybody would be
Yeah.
upstairs hanging.
Yeah.
I didn't take advantage of that like I should have. Like
Okay.
I just was hanging. I wasn't a
Okay.
group. I wasn't a groupie. Like Tony would invite me to his birthdays and different things like that. He calls me Holly from Vegas because that's where he met me.
Okay.
But not like a groupie way. And I think that's why they allowed me to be around him because it was just truly kicking it. I wish I would have taken advantage of all
Okay.
of that. But now, I mean, I've
Mm.
no, I mean David Arnold. I don't know if you know him from. He did the special on Netflix. He was my teacher. So
Okay.
I'll reach out to him. Chris Spencer is one of my favorite comedians.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And
Yes.
he was actually why I actually took a second class. I took David's class. David's like one of my mentors because I
Mm-hmm.
love Chris Spencer. And I
Yeah.
saw him in the CVS Rite Aid, and I was like, Chris, please, will you please like
Mm-hmm.
coach me? He was like, I don't do it, but take
Mm-hmm.
David's class. And every time I see Chris, he's like, you still doing it? You still doing
Mm-hmm.
it? I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yep, because of you, kind of thing.
I listened to him and his wife's show on
Oh,
Laugh Out Loud.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I don't out here when I see celebrities, I probably don't take advantage of it like I should because
Okay.
it's just normal kind of to see them. So
Right.
you're just like, oh,
Right.
they're gonna such
Right.
and such.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But yeah, some more. That was right. Every comic will tell you that if you don't get nervous, then you're probably gonna bomb because you're too comfortable and cocky in it. Yeah.
So
Have I
dealing with,
bombed? Yes. Oh, I thought you were gonna ask me. I thought you was gonna say, "Have you ever bombed?" I was gonna say, "Absolutely."
tell me about it.
Oh God, twice. Um, the first time I had just started doing comedy, I did the Comedy Store. I did the main room, which is a huge room. And, this is the room Richard Pryor did. Oh, everybody's telling you that. You go in the green room. They still got the mirror table where Red Fox and different people did their coke and stuff.
Wow.
So I was a newbie, and this was a newbie show. But the producer of this show thought it was a good idea to send me an email hour before the show as a new comic. This was probably my fifth show. And he says, "Hey, bring your A game. The top 5 comedy talent agents will be in the audience tonight." So first of all, an hour before, if you ain't already got your A game, you ain't gonna have it.
Right.
But I bombed so bad because I was not myself. I was trying to do what I thought I needed to do to get noticed. Why? 5 shows in, I wasn't ready for a big agent anyway. What was I gonna do with them? But I bombed. That night I had 30 some people in the audience to see me. I snuck out the back. Everybody was calling me like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm not coming out. I'm embarrassed." And yeah, the second time I bombed, good Lord, was right before the pandemic at the Comedy Union. That's the big black comedy club out here. Some of my favorites were in the back because it was Tahir Moore's birthday show. I don't know if you follow Tahir on. It was his birthday show. He was like, "Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes." Some of the biggest names like that I look up to, Ron G and all of them were back there. I went out there. First of all, he gave me the choice to do his first show or second show. I was like, "I'll do the second show." I should have did the first show because the second show was late. I go out there. All I see, first of all, before I even started, I was intimidated because everybody was like,
"Oh, right."
Basically like, "Who are you?"
Right.
And it was awful. Now, I've never bombed where I got booed or nobody laughed.
Yeah,
like
me
both
either.
times I got laughs and stuff, but for me, that was a bomb because I know what I'm used to.
Right.
And I never forget on my way home, I was like, "I'm never doing comedy again. I can't show my face again. Oh my God, Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you
I've
get a
been there.
bomb. Yeah, they say Naeem Starr, one of the Plastic Cup Boys, he was like, "You're not a real comedian unless you bomb."
I remember performing at a club in Douglasville, Georgia. And I had talked about, I had a lot of my family and friends are super supportive, coworkers all came out and they weren't even laughing. They were looking like this. I was like, y'all know y'all supposed to come just to laugh, right? I was like, why aren't y'all laughing? Just fake laugh. Like they were like, "Well, we were waiting on the punchline." I said it.
I know it's an awful feeling, and nobody wants to do
feeling. It. Yeah,
but it makes you grow because you go back and be like, "Okay, what didn't work?"
Yeah,
and, the key to comedy is, it's funny when people always say, "Yeah, I think I could do it because I'm funny."
Right.
Everybody funny ain't supposed to be on the stage.
Come on now. I didn't preach that many times.
Yeah, everybody funny because you can make your friends laugh. Don't mean that you're supposed to be on the stage because you got to write. You got to know how to put it together. You got to know how to come back. You got to know how to handle the audience. Like you got to be able to do all different. Like what you decided you're gonna say when you get on the stage might not be what you say because you might have some idiot yell out, and then you got to change your whole show.
Yeah. I've had men where they talk back and like, no, I didn't. I'm like, you do know this is a comedy show, right? Like, I didn't really want you to respond.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah. I told one boy one time, I said, "You can just shut the fuck up. You can, be quiet, and I get to you after the show. But right now, I'm gonna need you to be quiet. Kind of thing. So you gotta." I said the F word. So sorry.
That's okay.
But but yeah, so everybody that's funny, that's the thing. Everybody thinks I'm funny, I can jump on stage. And social media really makes everybody think that they can be a comedian.
What's your opinion on that?
Listen, social media has done me great because of the gifts and things like that.
So Holly has gifts, y'all. And for my mama that's watching this, thinking that she is selling like boxes with bowls with prizes inside, that's not what a gift is. This is GIF, mama. So yeah, gifts are like when you are sending somebody a text and you want the little funny face or the reaction, but you just want to send that and not words. So Holly has her own thousands and thousands of those. So how did you get into that? Like, where did that come from?
So social media.
Okay.
I knew a lot of times when you wanted to book shows, people would say, how many followers you got? So that became a hindrance. And I
Yeah.
don't necessarily care for social media, to be honest. I think it makes a lot of people depressed, and a lot of people see people's lives and think it what it is, and they sit at home and it's not that at all, So long story, social media.
Yeah.
But I knew I needed to get my followers up. So I was still working at the time. I had a little bit of change. So I hired a social media marketing company to kind of help me
Okay.
brand myself and figure out what I wanted to be. And they talked me into it. They was like, your facial expressions, like they were like, you need to do gifts. And they started it. And then I
Okay.
just love it. Yeah. So I'm not with them anymore, but they're still very, very helpful.
Okay.
When I need them and stuff. But yeah.
So how do people download and follow and add that to their phones or
So for mine, you're talking about for mine or to make their own?
yeah, yours.
For mine, usually when you send in a text or if you send in online or whatever, you can put in Holly Logan or whatever. Like if you want to say Holly Logan, not today, then you'll see my put in different words and like it'll pop up if you put my name in and stuff like that.
Okay.
But people, I just had somebody the other day say, can you make me a gift? And I was like, yeah. And I made it. He was like, okay, well, how I get it out there like yours? I was like, oh, you got to be on a channel. Like you got to get your gift channel. So anybody who wants to make them, you can. You just got to go on like either Giphy.com or Jiffy Cat or Tenor and make your own page and make your gifts.
Yeah. What else you got going on?
The comedy thing,
Mm-hmm.
commercial auditions. I'm trying to get an agent. I did my first assistant director
Mm-hmm.
thingy job for the past 2
Yeah.
days. I was the first AD for this movie, a sci-fi
Good.
movie, and it's
Okay.
so fun. I love it. I love
Mm-hmm.
being behind the scenes too. Listen,
Okay.
because it don't matter how old, how fat, how skinny, how whatever you get, you can
Mm-hmm.
always work behind the scenes. That's
Mm-hmm.
so you always gonna have money coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's fun. So first AD is the first assistant director. So you're responsible for calling, like quiet on set, and make sure everything functions right for the movie. You're making sure,
Mm-hmm.
you got your prop people in place. You got this, and the director knows, and this, I have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get
You
to
got any
yell at
shows
people. You get
coming
to
up?
say, quiet on set.
That's you all day. That's you all day.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
shut up.
Oh yeah, they do. Like quiet on set, and then somebody else say quiet, and then you're like, roll sound,
Yeah.
roll camera. All
Yeah.
right, let's go. Yeah.
You got any shows coming up?
Yes, I have a show. I think next Saturday at the
Mm-hmm.
J Spot, J. Anthony Brown's Club, which I love.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have any shows this week because I was working on this project. Next week, so far, I don't have anything during the week except next Saturday. So we'll
Okay.
see. Yeah, I had a bunch of
Okay.
shows the past couple of weeks. So yeah, yay!
Cool,
I'm
cool,
excited.
cool.
I'm putting it in my prayer box. I want to open my own comedy club, and so I'm trying to
Y'all
figure
touch and
out
agree
where.
right now. Touch and agree right now.
I know
It's
that's right.
coming to
Thank you.
pass. Yes,
And I
Lord.
just want to decide if I want it to be here or the East Coast. But I want to open my own comedy club.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
I
Ha
really
ha,
do.
Holly.
Yes, I can't call it Ha Ha out here because we got a Ha Ha comedy club. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah,
I love it.
but yeah. I'm just
But
listen. I am living life story. I have been through too much not to live.
yeah.
I did a
Yes.
post about it the other day. I was like, I'm stronger than I give myself credit for.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
getting sick myself. My mom got cancer. My mom was much better. Oh, her cancer's gone. My best friend Terrell went to Albany State.
Mm-hmm.
He got cancer. My mom said, I'm better now. Go help Terrell, which is why I came back to California.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so then Terrell's cancer gets worse. Terrell dies May 12th. I remember talking to my mom in April because Terrell told me, Holly, I want to go home. And I know what that meant.
Mm-hmm.
I rode the train with him for 3 days, take him back to Chicago. And I know when he said I want to go home, he wanted to be at home. He knew the end was coming. I remember telling my mom, if he lives through the summer, Mom, I'll be surprised. And she said, really? That was May 12th. Father's Day, the same year, my daddy called and said, something's wrong with your mom. She's in the kitchen trying to cook the duck all day, and she just poking it. And she said she doesn't know how to turn the stove on. She went to church without her skirt on. And my dad said, I'm taking her to the emergency room. You know, maybe she's had a stroke. And she did. They said she had 20 mini strokes. She should have been dead. So she kept having them. I flew home, slept in the hospital for 2 months. 2 months. They put us in a double room because I would not leave. And they bought me trays and everything. I bathed my mom. I did everything.
Wow.
I had to come back to LA for my job just for a week. And they called and we were going to take my mom to UVA to try to figure out why she kept having these strokes. Because the first thing I said is the cancer back. Her doctor, no, that's the one thing I can assure you. The cancer's not back. So we're going to take her to UVA. UVA says, run some tests before you bring her. My mom's cancer was back. After all that time, I asked them.
2 months.
It hit her pancreas. So they told I had to go home. They said, come home. She's not gonna make it. She's not gonna live but about 3 days. She lived 8. God had the last word. Ha ha. But meanwhile, my dad's sister is in Atlanta. She had COPD, but she was fine. While my mom is in the hospital dying, my cousins called and said, we don't know what's going on. We're taking mama to the hospital. Now, mind you, when my mom first got sick, my aunt is talking to me and my daddy.
The same aunt. Yeah.
She dies on August 24th. My mama died August 26th. My daddy's only sibling. My twin. I don't know if you ever seen her. We are identical twins.
Wow.
My dad couldn't go to her funeral because she's a Baha'i faith and she has to be buried in 24 hours.
Okay.
They were threatening to put my mom out of the hospital because she didn't die in the 3 days, like they said. It had been 8, and they said they didn't plan for her to live that long. So they were going to put her in a nursing home. And my daddy was like, if you do, every news channel in the world is going to be here. So my daddy didn't want to fly to the funeral because he was scared they would try to put her out while. So everybody, I found out all my friends got together because they was like, Holly's about to lose her mind, y'all. Yeah. Because her mom, she already lost Terrell, but now she lost her mom. Right. And I didn't. I found this strength. God gave me this strength that I did not know.
Want to do it?
Want to do it? Want to do it? Because I myself used to tell my mama, if something happened to one of y'all, I'm going to kill the other one and kill myself. I can't live without either one of y'all. And
you're the only child.
I'm the only child, yeah. But I made it through that. And then I made it.
What year was this, Holly?
2014.
Okay.
And then, I made it through that. I made it through the second surgery. I made it through so much. I made it through depression, times where I just really did want to just let go because of my job and different things. So I say all that to say, I'm going to continue to live my life. And that's why a lot of times when people see my page, I will do mental health posts.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed of it. I used to be ashamed to talk about it because people will make fun of you I'm on antidepressants. And guess what? I'm fine with that because it just makes me be able to function better.
Right.
But it's so still taboo in our community.
It is. And I'm so sick of it because so many of y'all need it. That's why I was trying to get away from naming this anything with counseling. Because I was like, I'm not a licensed therapist. I work in behavioral health and been working with behavioral health for umpteen thousand years. Yeah. And I'm a champion of it. And so just the stigma. I didn't want people to think that, so Star, you crazy? Or Star, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to speak my truth. Yeah, it really saved my life.
It saved your life. You better believe somebody. Yeah. And by you saying that, it's going to save somebody else's life. Because they're going to be like, oh my God, Story is so funny and got it together. Yeah. She, because a lot of people need to know it's okay. Like I posted last week, it's okay to not be okay.
That's right.
Like it is really okay to not be okay.
So September 20th, I don't know when this is going to air. I'm try to get it done as soon as possible. But September 20th is the day that my late husband passed away. And after 3 months of marriage, it was the most traumatic event that I have ever experienced in my life.
I can imagine.
We were super, super into church, super saved. We had never, and I'm saying this for a reason, but just to know the depth of our faith and our relationship. We had never even consummated our relationship until we got married. And this is after 2.5 years of dating. That's how devoted we were in Christ. And so when he suddenly passed away of a massive heart attack, mind you, his mama had already lost a child suddenly on his job. So here I am, got to call this lady and say her baby boy that just had this beautiful, beautiful wedding with this beautiful, beautiful wife. Yes, I was and am. Is gone suddenly. I was angry at nobody but God. And people didn't understand that because that's so taboo to say. But I wasn't mad at no man. I wasn't mad at no murderer. I wasn't mad at him eating fast food. I was mad at God. And wasn't no scripture that I could read that taught me about that. Wasn't no service about that. So if I'm craving, like I need somebody to talk to me about this, ministers at the time that I sought for, I'm not saying all ministers, I'm saying the ones that I spoke for, did not speak to my pain. It was, oh, no, 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 no. That's the enemy. That's the enemy. That's the enemy. That's the enemy. So I had to seek professional counselors that got me through. And so when I say the comedy and counseling saved my life, it really did. It really, really did. And so I said, I'm just going to speak what this really is going. I want my show to be about, because I
that's what it is. And that's your ministry.
It is.
That's the problem I have with the Black church sometimes. Because sometimes they make people feel bad for being depressed. Like, that's the enemy. You let the enemy take over your mind. Listen.
It's
whether
a
it is or not, it's something wrong, and I need to talk to somebody.
Yes.
Yes, prayer works. Prayer works, and I 100% believe in prayer. But you can't tell me you go pray this depression away today. It's not, and it's okay to get counseling. And going to get counseling. Meditating, all of that is not speaking against God. This is a tool God is giving you.
It's a tool God is giving you.
And I tell people that all the time. And that's one problem I have with the church sometimes. And what you said, I went to a church out here in LA, and I'm not going to say who it is. I'll just say that their wife is a big gospel singer.
I want
you. No, not Noel Jones. And I was in the church. I was there one day, and the pastor said, he said this very thing. If you got any problems, speak to the associate pastors, because you can't talk to me till you right. My thing is, if somebody's going through something, when you want to talk to your pastor,
right?
Like the small church, that's when you can call the pastor and say, I need to talk to the pastor. And that's why some of these preachers are getting where they came from, because the Bible says, first of all, the preachers didn't have flashy things.
No.
And you're there to serve God. You're there for the people. So that's a whole different show story.
It's a whole different show. Okay.
A whole different show. But mental health is real, and
it is.
Do not be embarrassed to ask for help. Even if you don't know me, if you feel depressed, reach out to me, because it is real. It is real.
It is. It really is. It really is. Reach out to both Holly and I. Reach out to a professional. Get you, and it doesn't mean you have to be in there forever. I told somebody the other day, I said, I'm not saying go to counseling for the rest of your life. Pay for 3 sessions, pay for 2. Just, it's okay. Just get a couple of sessions in just to see what it's like, and then get you a Netflix special, go on YouTube, type in Holly, type in me, watching you some funny. That's what does it for me. Sometimes I just need to watch something silly and funny. And in that moment, it's like, I feel a little bit better. I can make it through.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And comedy saved my life too. I love it. I love to laugh. But more than me laughing, I love to make people laugh. I love people to come up to me after the show and say, golly, girl, I was going through this, but you made me feel better. And it's not an ego thing. It's not my ego blowing up. It's just knowing that the gift God gave me resonated with that person.
Yes. And we didn't ask for this gift. God just gave it.
No, because sometimes I look at it as a curse. Sometimes I wish I didn't have a desire.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Sometimes
I just be like, can I just be regular? Why do I care? Why do I have to? This urge, why don't it go away? I have this urge that I gotta make people laugh. I gotta make that person smile. I gotta say something. I gotta say.
I'm like that too. I'm like, I wish I wanted to be a CPA. I wish I wanted to be a school teacher. I wish none of this was in me.
Yeah.
Number one, comedy doesn't pay.
Until
you make it.
Right.
And the commercials and all that do, but you know, that's few and far between. And
Yeah.
the people auditioning. So sometimes I'm just like, why? But then I know this is my way to help somebody that goes through what I've been through because God brought me through.
Amen.
You know,
Amen.
so I know I'm supposed to be funny, y'all, and we going deep, but hey, that's what it is. This is life.
It's life. It's life. It's life.
Yeah.
Thank you so, so much, Holly,
Thank
for
you.
doing this. This was absolutely fun and amazing and deep.
I know. I'm so sorry. We were supposed to be funny, y'all. I am so sorry.
No. But look, comedy and counseling. We do it all here.
Comedy and counseling. That's right. If you want to see us be funny, you go online and look for us to be funny.
Go online, look for us. I hope you feel better, my sister. I'm sending you.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm sending you all the healing energy. I'm believing God and touching an agreement with you right now that it's gonna all be well. All be well really soon. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love you.
Love you too.
All right.
Bye, everybody. Send me my daggone Albany State shirt. Bye, y'all.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.